Hello everyone, it's Michael from Chess Lifestyle, and yeah, it's gonna be another late night stream and training. And yeah, I thought for today, actually, I wanted to take a look at the rest of my games from this tournament, and if we have time, which we probably won't, I want to start having a look at a book called The Seven Deadly Chess Sins, and I'm actually gonna bring this book. Well, I'm gonna keep this book for the streams in the coming days, and maybe we'll take a look at some of that together because I think it's gonna be interesting to learn from. Um, but yeah, basically, I think last time we had a look at some of these games already, and I wanted to have a quick refresher on what I learned because yeah, to remind yourself of what we learned is always important. So this was the first thing about bishop f5. We don't have to worry about the bishop getting trapped. There are always tricks with queen h4. And that was another interesting way that we managed to save it. I think it was, yeah, this bishop b4 idea. Right, removing the knight so that we have the e4 square. This was another interesting thing. Like, I forgot that this was a way. Yeah, so that was one thing, and then the other thing was like I should be playing with b6 sooner while the knight is still on b8. That was another. And then yeah, like as soon as white castles and they've got a knight on f3 and a bishop on f2, we need to acknowledge that our h pawn might become loose, and therefore we need to play bishop f8, bishop e7 sooner. Otherwise, we're going to lose that pawn. So that was the first game. Second game. Oh yeah, this was the one where my opponent just played really well, and I didn't really have much to comment on, except for the fact that I just got outplayed. Yeah, how did he even go about winning this pawn? Oh yeah, I played this move, and then he basically got the c5 square, and he actually managed to take this pawn like this. So I need to be very careful when playing knight e5, not to allow this. This was quite interesting and good to see once. And then I've actually written something here. So this one was, with my pawn on b4 covering the c3 square, it means that they can't, set up with d4 so easily. Because I can actually undermine with knight e7 here. And actually, my counterplay in the center is faster than any counterplay on the king side. And they can't so easily play c3 without making a weakness for themselves. Hello from Menorca, Yevgeny. That's sick. That's amazing that you're playing. Well, when does the event start? I guess it's like tomorrow or something. But that's awesome. What section are you playing in as well? Are you playing in the A or are you playing in the B? But yeah, that was one thing I learned about this setup, that I can actually go with this. I mean, I was right that the knight on f6 is useful in dealing with this kind of push, but given that my play in the center is faster, I can play with knight e7. And then the game continued, and what ended up happening? Yeah, so I got let off the hook around here. Oh yeah, we had this crazy sacrifice. And I learned this new way of defending against this h5. Bishop h6, king g7, rook h8. Never would have thought I would have the time for this, but I do. Just have enough time to actually defend this. So that's very cool to see. And then the next round, what was going on here? Yeah, we had this like minority attack, close position. Yeah, and then this happened. And we learnt about this whole point of being able to play for a4. And this is actually the way we want to deal with c6. So if black played one more slow move here, I could play a4. And there are all kinds of interesting lines here. Like where, well, here I would just win the pawn. On this one, I'd be able to bring my rook to a6. So a4 is the break when dealing with the structure. And we haven't played b4 yet. So that black can't just easily plonk a knight on c4. So this a4 was the move to break. And then I think I just played a pretty good game. And yeah, later I still had this chance to play a4 and undermine these pawns. But yeah, we had this crazy finish where my opponent actually outplayed me, and then I managed to, yeah, I guess like he overpushed, missed a resource, and then was lost. And that's how these things go. So yeah, very strong 1800 player. Okay, yeah, nice. Today was the first round. I lost to a 24-07. Yeah, honestly, like my first round of Menorca last year, I played a 24-50, and he literally played engine perfect. Like not a single move was wrong, and he literally refuted an opening I'd been playing for like, I don't know, close to 8 years or something. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable how strong he was. Like, actually insane. But yeah, Yevgeny, if you wanted to send me the game, we can have a look on stream. I'm sure the others would be interested to see it. But what I'm doing right now, I'm basically reviewing this online tournament that I played, where I really had an amazing tournament, and I wanted to learn some more about the games that I played. So, did we look at this one? I think we did, and this one was the one where I just played a really fantastic game. Yeah, this was a moment where I actually had the move Queen H4 to try and pick up this pawn. So I missed this opportunity, but still, yeah, I played a really fantastic game, actually. Yeah, and this idea of 97, 95 or something. Yeah, and then in the time scramble, I managed to get him here with the fork, and then he resigned. So yeah, let's move on now to the next game. So again, I was playing my C3 Venom, and yeah, I play this structure. We get this exchange Caro-Kann or Queen's Gambit exchange, whatever you want to call it, where I basically get to put my pieces on much nicer squares. But we get this kind of box standard position. Yeah, g6 is hoping to play bishop f5, but because it's come so late, I'm already able to play bishop d3, right? And he starts to reroute his knight a bit, but I'm already getting some play on the queen side. And yeah, this is the first moment where probably I'm uncertain of how to continue. And having analyzed this previous game, I reckon a4 will be top move. Okay, a4 did appear for like a split second, and then it's gone. And okay, actually b3, what I played, is actually very decent. I thought a4 might be good, try and undermine this immediately, and not be so afraid of this structure. I'm surprised I can't do something like this. Knight a2 is not so good. Knight d7, knight c1. Aha, and already c5. Okay, like if I get one more move, let's say knight b6, then knight b3 is good. So this plan of mine, I think I've seen this before. It is legit, but I guess not if they can play a very quick c5. That's interesting. So b3 was fine. And then what happened? I can take on b5? Are you kidding me? What? How does this make any sense? Make this make sense. Ah, I've got this fork at the end. Oh. But still, I'm surprised this is actually good for me. Let's say they move the bishop somewhere. Yeah, like a6. Okay, and why is this so good? We've won a rook and 2 pawns for a bishop and a knight. But to be honest, I would prefer the pieces. So okay, we get in b4, fine. Even rook takes, okay. And I guess this pawn is going to be strong. But I'm still surprised by this evaluation. Aha, I heard a notification. I guess you sent it to me, Evgeny. Would you mind sending it to Ponziani Ghost? Because that's the account I'm on. I'm on my old alt account, Ponziani Ghost. I was better in the opening though with black. That's very promising. That's awesome. Will you go to Cambridge Open next week? No. No, definitely not. I mean, could have been cool. Could have been cool, but I think like to play classical tournaments, you really got to be in the right headspace for it, and yeah, too many things on my plate. Too many things on my plate right now. So, but yeah, I'm still shocked by this evaluation. So let's keep playing. Let's imagine that both sides are playing like stockfish moves. I just want this to make sense. Okay, thank you, Evgeny. Import the PGN? Okay. I'll just add it here. Let's just add it to the bottom. So we can have a look in a sec. But yeah. We can see though that, you know, the evaluation definitely isn't clear, and it can drop very, very quickly. So I think this is a bit of a rogue one. I'm not going to deep it too much, I think. So I play knight d1. I think my plan was maybe to come round or something, but now I look at it, I don't really understand. Why did I play knight d1? Knight b2. I think I wanted to play with a4. But yeah, the thing is here, I can't really push because then he gets the c4 square, right? So I think knight e5 was legit. But then he somehow... Yeah, this was my idea, right. Yeah, this was very nice from me. So obviously I'm not going to take here and allow black to cement a knight on c4, but I can take. And I was very, very proud of this idea. And then, yeah, even finding knight d1 to hit the b3 pawn. This was just really nicely played. This whole like sequence from me against this 2200. Yeah, and I realized that actually in this position I was trying to think what I should do, but I was just like, yeah, I don't have to worry about my back rank. Well, I do if I allow this. So I just move the knight. I don't have to worry about this. There's no way that the knight can come in and hit this pawn or something, so I just improve my knight. And I don't think I like cleanly converted this. I think I had some issues at times. Okay, I kind of glazed over some of these moves. Rook a3 is apparently strong. Yeah, I guess the point is I can't take this because then my bishop will be hanged. So he didn't play rook a3, which would have been good. Rook a2 would have been a better way to trade, I see. Yeah, interesting. Very difficult to spot these fine details in blitz. But yeah, I remember I didn't convert this as cleanly as I would have liked. Wow, king g3. That feels like really unnecessary, like to just allow like such a move. So what's the point? I just bring my king up. I'd be afraid of like accidentally mating myself. This is interesting. But okay, bishop d3 makes some sense. Just improve the piece. And just play with f3. And then maybe bring the king around this way. Yeah, maybe something like this. Play with bishop f3 instead. Wow, bishop f5 is almost equalizing? I don't really understand. Wow, knight c3? What's the point? Oh, they managed to hold everything and somehow I can't break through. Yeah, this is actually quite an annoying setup. So yeah, these positions are tricky. But luckily we're both playing a blitz game. It's not just me. So both of us can make some mistakes. Wow, so we can't... This is crazy to me. I don't understand this. Why is this so bad? Knight c5, I thought I'm doing really well here. Bishop c4, and this is just too strong. Yeah, my king is cut off. That's a very important fact. I guess I'd have to come around this way or something. But yeah, I can see how this is less clear. I'm going to go back in a few moves just to try and understand what exactly went wrong. But this game I lost, I think. Did I lose or did I win? Yeah, I lost this game. I lost this game from such an amazing position in the opening. I really messed this up. Wow, I missed this chance to just pick up a pawn. Yeah, I was too concerned about my knight. And okay, he misses a chance. We're all playing... Oh no, he didn't play badly. This was just good. Oh yeah. So in a way, my problem with this position is I allowed the king in. So at what point did his king start getting active and I just completely misplayed this? So probably at this moment here, I mean, I think I wanted to consolidate this bishop a bit better and maybe create a threat. Which was probably fine, right? This is still good for me. But really, my priority here should be to start quickly getting my king over. Like, okay, knight a3 creates a threat, fair enough. But now king g1 needs to be played. I think king g1 needs to be played. I need to be as fast as my opponent. with bringing in this king. Because now this is a different story. Okay, he has this move. And I guess my pieces are slightly tied up, so maybe that's why an earlier f3 might be useful. But we can see here that it's, you know, black can try and come in. Oh, they lose a pawn this way, so they have to play bishop d7. Maybe we kick out this knight or something. And can we try and improve? Yeah, this feels a lot more secure. Like this king, yeah, it's not gonna be so easy anymore. Yeah, so this is a really important thing to make note of. Like, even though like I felt like I had some advantage, right? I had the better pawn structure, these were weak. Very quickly, this advantage counted for nothing because black's king got active, right? So if black's king is active and my king is not, that's enough. So I think I played the opening fantastically, actually. The way I dealt with this minority attack, this was just really, really beautiful. How I managed to just in time take on c6 and ignored this knight in c4 and then improve these pieces. I think this was a really beautiful play. But yeah, just at this moment, I need to bring in my king. I need to do more of it. Yeah, and how does this compare actually? If let's say we get a trade this way. Knight b takes. How does this change? Let's say we just start playing like king f8 and stuff. Knight b4. And let's say they play... Ah, you see they can't even play this because of this. So already my pieces are just coordinated better before this king can get involved. Very interesting. So when I played it this way... Ah, he already hit my bishop. Yeah, and bishop e2. And he stops knight c3. Yeah, this was some insane idea. This is really nice. Really nice from him. Yeah, very tough opponent. But yeah, once he got this passed pawn, then things were really, really tough. And I think I tried... Oh, I actually did have some chances here. Okay, so I actually played this fairly well. Ah, I made the wrong king move? You kidding me? I guess like here, maybe I allow a check. Like maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should just play king c4. Oh, and I stopped the pawn. Oh my god, I literally fought this back. I literally fought this back. How does this even work? King g5. Okay, and he has to play knight e6. And if he pushes knight c5, what a line. What a line. I literally had this. I literally had this. But yeah, then this was... Oh, and then this was dumb. So h4, I'm still tying this game. Wow, yeah, I played this so badly at the end. I can go for this. I think in all honesty, I kind of lost hope at this point. I kind of lost faith at this moment. Which is really sad, because actually I do have chances. So ultimately I have an active king. And I've got a passed pawn. These are huge positional trumps, and I should have more belief in my position. Like, this is actually... I actually had chances here still to hold this. Wow. I assume this is the idea with h4. King e5. Yeah, and if he tries to bring the king back, what? This is... Oh no, he's losing a knight. So he has to move a knight or something. Yeah, and then this... Wow. Wow. This is an insane line. This is so cool. And I guess my king is now close enough. Yeah, I just didn't have the belief that I could tie this, but yeah, really interesting to see. And then this was just completely bad, right? This is just completely bad. Like, again, we can see that both this game and the last game, I allowed my opponent's king to get active, and I didn't make the best use of my king. So I think that's actually a really big take-home message from these past two games. That, oh, actually no, this was in the same game, right? This was in the same game. I allowed his king to get active first onto this side of the board, and then I allowed it to get active again. So I need to value my own king activity more and restrict his more. So I'll try and keep that in mind. Yeah, really interesting. Yo, Arjun, what's up? How's it going? I do have a bit of classical this month, but nothing more planned. Pretty unusual to be a white knight down with 3v3 and still a draw. Yeah, maybe. But that's the trumps, right? You have a connected pass pawn, protected pass pawn, you have an active king. Then I can totally believe it, to be honest. Also, Lucas, be very careful with 2 pawns and a rook is better than bishop and knight. It's not always the case. I think it's very position dependent, and very often bishop and knight can be stronger. That's been my experience, actually. So I'd be careful. But let's have a look at Yevgeny's game. Maybe we'll look without an engine first. That just says it all, right? I value Yevgeny's game more than my own, to be looking at this without an engine. Okay, so this is like some prep, I guess, of some Catalan. I can believe all of this is like some deep theory. Yeah, c5 makes complete sense, although like I'd need to know exactly what to do. I wonder at what point both players were out of book. To be honest, I don't like this move, actually. I'm not a fan of this move, like giving white the open file. Yeah, you get these double pawns, but I don't think they're so weak. I think this is good for white, actually. This would be my intuition here. Wow, what? I would even just take here. Is this lost? This would be my instinct, just to go a bit crazy. Yeah, what the hell is this game? Yeah, this is... Yeah, and we see, right, the strength of this pawn, right? Like, it really immobilizes black's options. Right. What the hell? You just take it? The hell is going on? So what, you have to take with the pawn, I guess? Or can you actually ignore it? Can you actually value your king's safety more and play like a move like king e8? I'd be very tempted just to ignore this pawn. Just because like if I keep my king in the center, I feel like it's going to be too weak, right? With this kind of stuff. And then e3, yeah. And Yevgeny resigned? Never resign. Even if it's 2400. Disrespect the guy. Play on until mate. So let's see these critical moments. How accurate was I? So bishop takes b7 is a move. So I'm not completely insane for suggesting it. But this is already very good for white, I see. Bishop c8 was strong. And then here... Hey, king e8 was top move. So, okay, I got some good instincts here. That it's more important to get the king safe. But of course, yeah. I mean, I realize that this position is still extremely tough. Like, with such a strong pawn. Right? We can't take it. So, yeah. But I wonder at what point did it go wrong? I reckon taking on b5 must have been a mistake. That's my instinct. So okay. Oh, taking on b5 is fine. Interesting. But yeah, this is a horrific position to play for black in the sense that, you know, you're on such a knife edge, right? Like, this is a huge threat. You can't even castle without being worse here. Like, I don't know. Like, if you're really good with your memory and you really understand the nuances so that you can confidently not blunder ever in these sharp positions, because no matter how much you prep, all it takes is one move from your opponent that deviates out of your preparation and you're completely, like, you know, in a sticky situation, right? Oh, so actually this was bad. Oh, you have to take with the bishop, right? Yeah, you see, I felt like this was good for white. So I think I understood this game well, but that wouldn't mean I would play it any better from black's side. Like, it just feels like a really tough position to play. So I think be extremely careful with what lines you choose and try and play lines that you at least feel well, so you're not ever making this kind of move. Like, I think if you really understand the nuances of this position well, then maybe you would... Oh, no, sorry, not even this move. See, I don't understand this position, right? I don't understand why knight takes is not as good as bishop takes. Like, you'd think bishop takes would be fine. Probably it's some, like, absolutely concrete reason why this is not... I just don't get it. Right? This bishop still looks super strong. This pawn is still super good. Why would this ever be an advantage? And this is the thing. Chess is hard. But there are some lines that are easier than others. It's like all animals are equal, but not Wait, not, I don't even know. What's the quote? Uh, Not all animals are equal. Nah, I can't remember. Something about like animals not being equal or something. And it's the same with chess positions, right? You can have some equal positions that are really equal and some equal positions that are like on a knife's edge. And this is one of those positions. So I would be careful, Yevgeny, with this kind of prep, but you do you. If you think this is your future, then go for it. But yeah, like I would blunder this easily. Like no matter how strong I get, I'm gonna make these mistakes. But if I keep playing openings where I really understand the feeling of the positions and the ideas, then I feel like I'm gonna be able to navigate it better. But anyway, that's my opening rant, and yeah, interesting game. But yeah, shame it got messy so quick. Yeah, what a crazy game. Yeah, bishop c8 is very nice. But yeah, ultimately I think like chess is a lot easier when your king is safe. Like the number of games that I just lost because one side has an unsafe king is just like so easy for the side that's playing against the unsafe king. So I think like really prioritize your king safety and you'll really benefit from it. Oh, you didn't resign. You played on a bit. That's good. Yeah. Check out bishop h6 after c5. Oh, I guess you mean earlier, right? c5 here. Bishop h6. Oh, right. And then you get this. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. And then you castle. Yeah, this is an insane line. Absolutely insane. Yeah, some animals are more equal than others. Yeah. Some positions are more equal than others. It's really true. Trying to master it. Yeah, I mean, I think if you see the light at the end of the tunnel, then keep going. If you don't see the light, then don't play it. And just cut your losses and find something better. Because I had this problem with the French where I literally played it for 5 years until finally being like, okay, I need to play something different. And oh my god, I played so much better after quitting the French. I reached such higher heights. So at some point you need to make that brave decision. And yeah, it will be a shame because especially with lines as sharp as this, it's like not so transferable, like the skills. But yeah, what to do? But yeah, it's an interesting one. What line is this called actually? This setup from black. Does it have a name? This like Slav Grunfeld modern type setup. Is it really popular actually? Is this like some... I guess this is like mainland Catalan maybe. Maybe this is like mainland Catalan. Do you play Grunfeld, Yevgeny? Is that why you're playing this kind of stuff? But yeah, this is... Oh, I could never do this. I could never do this. Like, I mean, I used to have ambitions of this kind of stuff. And I'm so glad I switched. But yeah. Yeah, maybe rock solid lines as opposed to sharp lines. It's a tough one to say. Because when you play a rock solid line, an IM opponent is going to be able to grind you out and find the tiniest of inaccuracies in your play and win. So a sharp line that you know really well can be a really good way to win a game. Really depends on a lot of factors, to be honest. Like what kind of player you are, what kind of strengths do you have as a player. It's tough. Yeah, it can feel very freeing, I imagine, to quit an opening after years of playing it. It's a very brave step to make, and it is freeing. It is freeing. It's an interesting one. But I think the thing you've got to realize is that, you know, when you make a change to your opening repertoire, you got to realize that it's not goodbye forever. It's not like you're cutting off the French and you never can come back to it. If you realize after 6 months of playing something else that you realize that actually, no, this is the right opening for you, you can go back. And that's what happened with me actually with the Benoni against d4, right? Like I stopped playing the Benoni to play a Slav. And then I realized actually, I just play the Benoni like much better. Even though like it wouldn't intrinsically be my style. Probably the Slav is more my style. But it's kind of interesting. What I've realized actually is playing like a more dynamic offbeat line with black, or have a more offbeat repertoire of black, tends to do better for me. And then having a really solid, stable repertoire of white is like the perfect balance. Because when I have a really solid, stable repertoire of black, often I'm a bit too passive. And I'm not so great with dealing with all the pressure, like on my position. But with the white pieces, you can be solid and not passive, right? You can be solid and be the one in command. So I think there's different types of solid, and different types of players will be better and worse at different types of solid. And I think like solid positions with the white pieces works an absolute treat. And then solid positions with the black pieces, not so much. But yeah, this takes a lot of experience to come to these conclusions. Yeah, if Jenny, you play semi-Slav, then why on earth are you playing G6 here? Like why not, literally, why not just play your semi-Slav? Just play knight f6? No? C6? You can play e6 here. And at some point they're probably going to play d4 and you're just back in book. Or if they play with c4, like, you know, you still have... You have your semi-Slav position. What's so bad about this? I mean, like, even if they play in Reti style, you can play with like b6 here, knight d7, bishop b7, choose whether you want to play with e5, whether you want to play with c5. Very flexible setup. By the way, Stanley Badascogni had a winning position against Maxime Lagarde, but accepted a draw. Don't blame him. Stanley's super experienced. If he accepted the draw, then it was the right call. I have full faith. In Stanley's call on that. Slav against Catalan is not good. Is that really the case? I mean, yeah, with the bishop inside the chain. I mean, objectively speaking, maybe not. But I really don't think this is so bad. I think this is fine. And if they play with d3, I think you can play this Yevgeny. It's fine. You can play bishop b7, knight g7, knight d7, queen c7. I had problems with this with the Reti, actually. It's not so easy. Slav against Catalan is perfect. Yeah, we have different opinions, right? Queen c2, knight d2, e4. Yeah, exactly. So there are lines. Yeah, that is the idea. You wanna basically play for e4. But it's still not completely like simple, right? Like black still has all of these breaks that white needs to be concerned about. And maybe white has like a slight edge, but it's not like completely clear. I play Catalan my whole life, and I really like playing against the Slav. Just my take, though. Yeah, no, I mean, the resource I learned Reti from, also against this semi-Slav position, also transposed into Catalan, because yeah, like it's kind of just like a good Catalan. That's at least like what the theory says, but in my experience, it's not so easy. And I'm always debating in these kind of positions whether to play with d3, or whether to play with d4. And both kind of have their merits. If the bishop is blocked, then it's just horrendous. But why are you playing a semi-Slav if you're concerned about your bishop being blocked? I feel like it's not going to stay blocked though, right? You can put the bishop on b7 and later play with c5. I don't think it's like such a problem. Anyway, yeah, interesting game, and best of luck, Yevgeny, for the rest of the tournament. And yeah, each game, take it as they come. I think you'll be fine. Yeah, and all these repertoire changes that I'm suggesting, like, definitely don't do any until after the tournament. Like, play whatever you're most experienced with, for sure. But let's keep going with this game analysis of mine. So, did we look at this game? Don't remember. No, we didn't yet. So what happened in this one? So I played another modern. We get to this position again. I played bishop g4. So I was in book at this moment, and then I'm kind of out of book here. Playing knight e7, which is fine. Yeah, and you see how, like, this opening, right? Like, you know, you can prepare, like, some book line and, like, be really engine prepped on it. And you make one inaccuracy, and suddenly the advantage is all gone. And I didn't play c5 yet, but I did play c5 eventually. Wow, c5 is even better for black. Incredible. Just shows how much potential there is in the setup. Like, I never play this because I'm always afraid of knight b5. Wow, and I just castle here and I'm fine? I'm better? g4? I had never imagined black is better in this position. This is insane. Bishop g5? Literally, how am I better here? How am I better here? Can someone explain this to me? a6 and they bring the knight in? Wow, -2? Are you kidding me? If I had the white pieces and black played like this, I'd report them. I'd report them straight up. Like, holy crap. The center just collapses. Interesting. Wow. Okay, that's cool to know. That's really cool to know that the knight on d6 is not so strong because this is just going to collapse completely. It's really interesting to see. But after castles, what if they just play a chill with c3, right? They make sure that the center stays solid. Okay, they can play queen a5. Let's say they just defend. How is this working out so well for me? Ah, they're losing a piece. That's why. Okay, that makes sense. And it's funny that even when black is winning a piece, this is only -1 because white still has a lot of like attacking potential on the king side. That's quite funny. But yeah, interesting that I can get away with c5. I'll definitely keep that in mind. And eventually I do play for the c5 break. Yeah, I take in the center. Yeah, and I go for this trick, right? Like playing for this. And he plays knight c3. I take this bishop off. I don't want him to have the bishop pair. Oh god, this move. Oh my days. So I remember thinking, like, so to be honest, I was reaching fatigue at this moment. This is round 7 of the tournament, and I realized I had like a fine position, but I just got tempted by this tactic, you know? I just saw it, and I was like, okay, I take, and when the queen moves to defend the rook, then I'll just take it, and then I'll take on g4, and he can't take back, so I win, what? I win 3 pawns, and a rook for 2 pieces, right? So I thought this was great. But then the problem was that I missed that he had this move. And this is why I should never play for such ambitious tactics when I've got other ways to play the position that are just much more smoother, right? Like this is still complicated. Like, let's say I got this, right? The fact is my evaluation is still wrong. This is still better for white, even though, like, yeah, I won a rook and 3 pawns for 2 pieces. This is still better for white. Which just shows that I shouldn't, like, you know, try and be so tricky with this. My king is weak, right? Just like in Yevgeny's game. If you have a weak king, the compensation is massive for the opponent. And this is just way too ambitious. So I should just be a bit more boring and not play queen b5 and mouse slip, but just like, yeah, improve my pieces. Rook c8, bishop f8, we can improve these pieces. Knight b6, we can improve these pieces. And that is how we should play this. So, yeah, in this game I actually resigned at this, oh, actually no, I didn't resign. At this moment, I played this move very quickly, hoping that he might just take back or something. Right, this is quite a tempting move. Actually, this is a pretty good move because then I don't even win the queen. I was just hoping that maybe he takes with the rook or something and I pick up the queen. You know, I just thought I'd try it and he took my queen and then I resigned. Unfortunately, I lost the next game as well. Well, so yeah, this game actually I played pretty well. And interesting to learn about this c5 resource. I didn't realize this was actually possible. But I guess it is. Just undermine the center super fast. Yeah. So, okay, we get this c3 Venom again. Oh, yeah, and then this was very nice because I knew that I could win a pawn. Because the point is he can't take back with a knight. because I can do this. So this is the kind of like preparation which is really nice because it comes up in many types of positions and you can spot the theme, right? This theme of taking the queen. So I knew I won a pawn. Wait, I lost this game? No, I won this game. Okay, I won the last 2 games. This is good. So I traded some material. Yeah, and this was very, very cute because I knew that this was coming. So I was ready to protect my c3 pawn. And why on earth did I play this? Such an ugly move. Why would I play that? Maybe I wanted to try and win the a pawn. Maybe this was the logic. But yeah, the knight coming to d4 looks much stronger. I think maybe I got spooked out at this kind of plan. Maybe. But also I can just trade. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. Why I played knight b1 here. It seems really unnatural. And this was the thing like I learned from Nicola, right? Like, I don't know if you guys have all seen my stream with Nicola, but if you haven't, it's definitely worth the watch. But the take-home message was principled moves, and knight b1 is just not a principled move. Knight f3 is a principled move, right? Coming towards the center. So just play principled chess, don't be fancy. And actually that goes for this position as well. Like, this is such an unprincipled move. So unprincipled move, avoid. And I'll put this as well for this. Unprincipled move, avoid. And then this one was like really good for king activity, right? So king activity. So this was a more active king. This king on c4. This is also about king activity. And then earlier as well, we even had this moment where this is king activity. So this is actually a great example. So this is like king activity game. Maybe I can show some of my students this. Yeah. And this was about principled moves. Yeah, some really nice games. But yeah, so I then activate these pieces. I come up with this great plan to put a queen on b3 and try and win this a pawn. Yeah, and this was really dumb actually. I played bishop f4 to try and bait g5, hoping that it would weaken his structure, but actually g5 is just good. And I kind of regretted it afterwards that I just gave him an extra tempo. But then, yeah, he messed this up and I won a pawn. Yeah, and I could just take here. And I just played f3. Wow, it's not working? You're kidding me. I can't do this? You can just go back? Oh, with tempo on the bishop. Oh no. Ah. See, tactics, man. Tactics. And now the point is he's even taking this with check. Unbelievable. Yeah, so I saw this kind of stuff and I thought I was fine and I actually won on time here. But I'm winning in position after I win this piece. But yeah, knight d6. What a move. What a move. So this is why it's very important to have a very solid setup. Because you can see my piece is loose here, my piece is awkward here, my pawn is weak now. Of course there are going to be tactics in a position. So it's very important that you consolidate. And I need to do that. For some reason I'm playing like all these like sharp, aggressive moves before my position is fully consolidated. I've got all these weaknesses. So I just need to consolidate more before pushing. And then guys, this brings us to our final position. This will be the final thing we do this stream. Where I played, I believe, an IM. And he played this very direct f4 kind of play. But this is very, very good against d6 kind of players. But against my Gergenitzer type of player, this is completely good for me. Especially now that this g4 square is so weak. And I just planted a bishop on this square. And I just got a great position from the opening. So you see guys, right? How many times against an IM would you be able to be minus 0.7 out of the opening, playing e4, e5, e4, e6, e4, c5, e4, c6, right? And on move 3, I'm already minus 0.8. And the reason for this is I'm playing an offbeat system that's provocative, and it kind of provokes a response from white. And white was provocative, and this is the problem. So even my IM opponent got baited, and he had some problems. So why on earth did I take this knight? Because now the queen is out of the pin, then the knight was free to move. And I actually didn't like how this knight would have some nice squares, so I actually valued the knight over the bishop, and actually, yeah, bishop takes f3 is a good move. I didn't take the pawn. I think I should have just done this. This is just like playing too quickly. And then he actually managed to consolidate. It was really interesting. Like, I thought like I have to be picking up something here. Like, I castled, right? Not only to get my king safe, but I'm also threatening the pawn. He manages to defend it. But okay, I've got some ways to improve my position. So I improved my knight. And yeah, this was an interesting decision. Like, I realized that it weakened these points. But at the same time, I didn't see how white was going to cause them problems. Like, these squares are covered by my knights. So I felt that I'd be fine. And just to make sure that this knight is, like, solid here, like, I'm never having to worry about any kind of captures, I just felt it was worthwhile. But interesting that Engine really dislikes it. I guess this is a plan, right? Knight e7, knight f5, which maybe the Engine is suggesting. And if... yeah, then I'm very quick to play knight f5. Right. So actually, this is a better way to avoid my knight being taken, with just a much more active knight on the board. Yeah. So f5 is not only weakening my g6 and e6 pawns, but it's also blocking a square that I could have used for my knight. That's quite interesting. But still, I've got a pleasant advantage here. And the other thing as well is, like, you see how, like, my openings from both sides really work together, because again, I have a position where I have a minority attack. And I think minority attack is just like a really, really easy plan. So I start to prepare it. And here again, my opponent has prematurely played b4. I guess he's hoping to put a knight on b5, on c5, but I haven't pushed b5 yet. So this knight isn't going to be so strong because I can play b6. And again, you can see a5 is the move here, right? Not b6. So these two moves, I guess, should be candidate moves. But here in this position, is it going to be this maneuver? No. But why not? Is it going to be the same c4 idea? You guys recognize this position, right? From a previous game. So what's the difference here? If he plays, like, I don't know what to suggest. Bishop f2. Knight c8. Okay, this looks great. This looks great. And I'll put, yeah. Okay, I'm very happy with this line. Okay, so maybe next time I'll do that. b6 is still fine. And I play for a5. Fantastic. Okay, I put the knight on e7. I reroute the knight. Yeah. Oh, and... wow, I can even take this? I thought that my structure was just bad, but I guess he has to go back. And I just get the c file first. So even though this is a bit of a weakness, I guess it's not really if my knight can always block this file, right? And actually, I'm the one who's getting counterplay on the c file, so this is really interesting. Yeah, and he had c5 here, and I missed this move. Because I thought he couldn't play it for some reason. I thought I had some... yes, I thought I had this. But it doesn't work, because he can take, and when I take... he has this move. Yeah. I didn't like this, I think. But actually, now I looked, it doesn't look so bad. But I guess they get the c file, and even though we have an extra pawn, this is a problem. To be honest, maybe I didn't see this. Maybe I thought I couldn't take the pawn because I thought I was losing a piece somehow. Like, I thought I was just losing a piece. But I can always trade. So maybe this was some bad calculation, but in a way, yeah, so I played king f7. But now the problem is I'm not even winning the pawn. And now these pawns are like super scary. But this was just a mistake, right? And yeah, I was really quick that day. Like I was playing really well on the clock, 51 seconds to 7 seconds, and in Blitz, a minute is a pawn. And here we can see that he messed up under time travel, gave up this huge asset, and then I simply rounded up this pawn. But still, yeah, he even blundered this. It was crazy. I don't even know if this was a blunder or if this was just like a sacrifice. I was even tempted not to take it, but I just thought, I have to take it. And yeah, then this is a blundering a5. It's crazy. Oh, I literally just had rook c8 here. Are you kidding me? And it's knight a5, rook c2 with check. Oh my god. Yeah, I was messing this up. Yeah, and I completely started to bottle this. And luckily I tried to give myself some counterplay here. But I really started to fluff this completely. And I also got down onto the clock, right? I also got down with no time. I managed to get rid of this b7 pawn, and I started to push this pawn like a crazy maniac. But the lucky thing was I was able to get my knight into the game. And this was really, really huge. And I managed to basically get this in as well. So I managed to win another exchange. But still this position isn't clear. And did I queen here? I think queening was actually really, really naive. Like I could have just played anything here, to be honest, right? I could just keep my rook. I don't know where it belongs. Maybe rook d3 is nice with tempo, or rook e8 hitting the knight. Any move really, and then I'm gonna promote, and then I'm gonna have an easy advantage. But here I completely miscalculated, and actually this is not so simple at all, because he's got an active king. And incredibly in this position, okay, this is the only move. I have to cut off this active king, so I'm glad I found this move. And yeah, incredibly, this is just about winning. And what would be your instinct here? What would be your technique to try and win this game? What would be your instinct? So, at first, my instinct was like, okay, I will take the pawn and then rush my king over. But then very quickly, I realized this feels way too slow. Like this pawn is going to be quick. So what I realized was actually I need to prioritize activating my king. And I can always deal with this pawn with my rook. And that is why I played king c6, which I think was the right decision. And then I was able to win this pawn. It's a draw? Are you serious? I messed this up? So actually I need to follow my philosophy of saying that I need to bring this king in more. And I can worry about this pawn later. This is incredible. So now my king is close enough. Also, why would I ever play king e6? King e7 is obviously better. Trying to get to f8. Like, I could probably play king f8 here. And if h7, I could probably give a check and then play, yeah, even this, right? And then bring, yeah, so I just need to activate my king enough, right? This pawn can always be stopped. But instead I took the pawn thinking my king was close enough. You're kidding me. Promote tonight! Oh my god, but I am missed this. But I am missed this and now I'm just completely winning. Oh my days. Oh my days. Promote tonight. Wow, what a position. What a beautiful position. Yeah. So I'll put here, must prioritize king activity. Yeah, so crazy game and like interesting missed opportunity from the opponent. But yeah, as a result, I managed to score 5 out of 9 in this online invitational. And these ratings, as you can see on the left, are actually like close to FIDE ratings. So I really played an amazing tournament. I had a performance rating of 2200, which I'm very proud of. And yeah, all the lower rated players were extremely underrated as well. So I think I just had a fantastic event. And hopefully I get invited to play in another one of these tournaments. But yeah, this was really, really great. Calculation practice books for 1400 from Itachi. Do Lichess puzzles will be fine. Yeah, so that's actually one thing. For 1400, I would say even just like solving like difficult tactics, that's already like some decent calculation for you. And I think that's probably enough. Like, probably you don't need to calculate more than 3 moves ahead to already be getting to like... Well, it depends. Are you talking about 1400 online or 1400 in person? Because online, for sure, you can raise that level with even just like 3-4 move calculation. Easily. Yeah, under promotion theme. Crazy that it comes up, right? And yeah, thank you, Kwakchu, for the compliment. Yeah, really nice game. And guys, I think I'm gonna call it a day. It's quite late already for me. Since we spoke about betting yesterday, I will just briefly mention that these were the bets I made for the candidates. So I only put in £20. But this, I should make a disclaimer. This is for Lei Tianji to beat Gorokshina. So if Li Tianji gets more points than Gorokshina, then these are the odds, which I think are fantastic. And then this Nepo to beat Fallujah on total points. The fact that it's not even a 1-to-1, I think is crazy. The fact that I've got like possible winnings from this is unbelievable. Okay, to be honest, the winnings aren't much. It's like £1.75, but you know, it's still. Wait, actually no, it's more than £1.75. What I'm talking about, it's £6.75. So this is actually really good, I think, for Nepo to beat Fallujah. And then this is Nakamura to beat Caruana. And to be honest, I would also put like just like equal odds, but for some reason it's in like hugely in Naka's favor. Well, it's Caruana is the big favorite, but as I explained last stream, I don't think Caruana is like so easily favored due to the setting of the tournament, like the format of the tournament, I mean. So, not to advocate you guys to bet, I just bet for fun, and I would say like the general rule that I stand by is you should only bet as much money as you wouldn't mind losing. So if I lost £20, I'm not gonna feel bad about it. So I'm at a point in life where I can bet £20 and not hate myself. But if I was in school and I bet £20 and I lost £20, I'd want to die, right? So it's all relative, and the thing is, like with betting, you can bet as little as you want, right? So I remember like when I first started like betting for fun, I would kind of follow this rule. So I would probably only bet like maximum £5. I would probably do this exact thing, and I'd put £2 on TNG, £1 on Nepo, £1 Nakamura, just for fun, just to like see like are my predictions right? Because I think there's actually value to like being able to make good predictions in life, and I feel like putting your money where your mouth is always a nice fun thing to do. At least for me, I found, because it's a bit like when you're solving exercises in a book, you actually write down the answer, you force yourself to actually make a point. As I said, I could be a great salesperson for gambling sites, but yeah, I'm really not advocating for you to do it, and especially if you've got a very addictive personality and you don't have any limits on how wild you take any addictive kind of things, then definitely be very careful. But okay, I think like as like a pastime, it can be quite fun as well. What's the website? This is a website called Sporting Bet. They have chess odds, and I found that another nice thing to do with betting sites that I often do is just like always take the free bets. So often like with these websites, they always like offer some like free bets on sign up. But okay, you've got to be very careful, and also, you know, not get like baited, right? Like you don't just start like, you know. And I guess maybe in a way, like I've kind of got baited by this website, right? Like I started off with like some welcome bet where like I got an extra £20, and here I am still using the website just without any free bet, right? But I like the website a lot, and it's got chess bets. So, and yeah, I think for a bit of fun it's okay. But yeah, be careful, guys. Be very careful. And this is definitely going to make me more excited to follow the candidates, since I've got a little bit of money on the line. But I think the craziest odds of all is 2-1 that Tianji will score higher than Goroxina. Like I would even think Tianji is more likely to score higher than Goroxina. So yeah, crazy. I did some high cash stakes Hearthstone at one point, but I seriously don't like what it did to my psychology. I made some money from it, so I was never punished for it, but still wouldn't recommend. Very interesting. Yeah. I think with a game like Hearthstone, betting would then, like, yeah, that would damage my psychology with the game, and also I wouldn't be so good at it either. And I think same with poker. Like, I am horrendous at like betting money with poker, and I should never do it because yeah, it's just too like it's too fast paced of a game. Like when you actually just make bets on something like this, you can like do your research, you can think about it carefully, and you can just put in as much or as little as you want. But when you play a game like poker, right, you're forced to put in money, right? There's like small blind, big blind. Sometimes you have to put in money even when you don't want to. And this is kind of like a very kind of risky kind of dynamic, at least I feel. So for me, I'm definitely not good enough at poker, and also the format of it just doesn't lend itself well to playing with money, right? I very much enjoy playing poker without money, and I think Hearthstone would be similar in that way. But I find it so easily to get sucked in, and yeah, money you don't mind losing is fine, exactly. So whatever you wouldn't like feel bad about losing, then make that your limit. And if that means you only bet £5, you only bet £5, and you're still putting your money where your mouth is. And okay, like if £5 is a lot to lose for you, then it will already feel a bit bad, maybe like losing like £1 or something. So I think it's fine to just like, you know, play with very, very small stakes and just, you know, test your skills. But I don't know. Yeah, like as Josh said, like, you know, find it easy to get sucked in, like, you know, I can completely understand. And for me, I'm very lucky that I never, like, for some reason, I've never, like, valued money as, like, a super, super high priority as a person. Like, always, I mean, if I did, I wouldn't be in chess, right? I'd be, like, doing finance or something. Like, I've always just felt like I've got so many friends who are working, like, ridiculous, like, 50-hour weeks. And yeah, they make, like, maybe, like, 70, 80K. But I just wouldn't do it. Like, it's just not worth it. Like, I don't think money is like the absolute, like, you know, problem solver. There's so many people with lots of money who are so unhappy, and I think it's like, yeah, obviously money solves a lot of problems, I'm not denying that, but yeah, like, it's just not like, as long as you can make enough to live like your basic life, then I think that's already good enough. So I start to prioritize other things a bit more. So all in all, I think this is fine what I'm doing. And yeah, I think yeah, the website was sportingbet.net that I used, just not to get confused with any others. I think it's .net. But anyway, doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter. Anyway, these are my calls. You guys can laugh at me if I get all the wrong wrong calls. And yeah, I think that's all for today. I'm gonna head to bed. So I guess stream tomorrow. And I guess see you around. Okay, bye.